Borada and Croeso I Gymru. Welcome to the sunshine of North Wales for the third round of the 2017 birelART UK Series, where the action is never too far away. We're in the gorgeous sunshine and we're about to get underway for the cadets. Before we kick off, let's chat with the championship coordinator, Andy Cox, about the cadets. It's really been impressive how well the championship's been kicking off in the early part of 2017.
Well, it's amazing. I've never seen it so close, actually. This year we've got some drivers that have been in the category for a couple of seasons now, and it's great to see how they're all evolving in the category, and we've got some youngsters coming through as well.
Yeah, I hear there's quite a few 7-year-olds who are just waiting for their 8th birthdays before they can join you on the grid.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of kids in Bambino, which is the smaller karts, and they grow out of those quite quickly. So they're all looking at our series because at the moment you can be in the year of your 8th birthday and you can join the series, and that's really important for the cadet grid. We're looking at possibly for next year that as long as they meet a minimum height of 1.25 m and a minimum driver weight with their safety equipment of 25 kilos, that they'll be able to start at their 7th birthday. And we have an awful lot of 7-year-olds that are knocking on the door, champing on the bit, and we want to get them on the grid, start them racing in the series and start developing them, because we're going to have a couple of these drivers next year moving up to juniors.
And of course, some of those 7-year-olds who are watching this thinking, well, maybe this is my opportunity, they can come along to the Cadet Academy on May the 31st at Wilton Mill and try it out.
That's right. So it's a Wednesday from 4 o'clock. It's free. If you register with the office, if you go to our website, ring the office, book in. You get a 10-minute session free of charge. We have the helmets, the suits. It's advisable that that the kids have done maybe a little bit of indoor just to get some coordination and be familiar with the kart operation. But if they fancy it, book in with the office, come down. If you want any other sessions, we can do that. There's a small charge for that. It's really dependent on how busy it is. But Wilton Mill's a great track, really open space, lots of runoff area, great place to start to learn to drive.
And one last question, of course, before the racing gets underway. The seeded drivers, like your Milo Pilfolds, your Christian Lillys, your Louis Rosses, they're actually having a real challenge of it this year, because the new established guards coming through, like your Ella Stevenses, Charlie Humphreys, even the rookies like Nathan Tye and Oakley Keatley, they're really starting to throw a candle to these guys.
Well, that's right. And obviously, race experience comes into it in the end. The pressure that these kids, you get so excited. Don't you, Jake?
I can't help it.
You get so excited, but yeah, that's when the age and the maturity and the experience shows. But because the karts are so equal, it does give the opportunity if a kid can really get on with it pretty quickly. That's why the karts are so close. But like always in motor racing, the person that can just take and suck up the pressure is the kid that wins, which is what it's all about.
Fantastic, Andy. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So it's time for the cadet final here at GYG, and Tom Harvey and Ella Stevens, our previous winners, are in first and third with Louis Ross and Milo Pilfold in the mix. Lily, Keatley, Tye, Gurney, Humphreys and Kylan Ingram round out the top 10. Keep an eye on Freddie Tomlinson. He would have been in the top 3 potentially in the pre-final had he not had an off on the final lap, so he'll be charging through from the back. Tom Harvey won the pre-final. The heat earlier was won by Ella Stevens, who very nearly won that pre-final, by the way. Only a back marker held her up, and already she's up into second place, and Christian Valverde has spun off at turn 1. Disaster for Valverde. He had an off earlier in the day as well, so this is not a good start. Hopefully he'll be able to charge his way forward. Keep an eye on Milo Pilfold. He's shot up to 3rd position. Great start by Pilfold. So it's Harvey who leads the way. Ella Stevens 2nd, Pilfold in 3rd, and Christian Lilly is coming up into P4 as well, signalling to Louis Ross, who he's overtaking on the inside as we go through the double left-hander at the bottom of the hill. Christian Lilly definitely on a charge here, looking very strong indeed as they come up the hill once again. Now, another man worth watching is Jamie Gurney, in and around the top 6 all day today. This has definitely been his best showing here at GYG in the birelART UK Series, and he'll want to push forward as we see the drivers in the mix. Freddie Tomlinson started P13. I guarantee you he won't finish there. Oakley Keatley should be charging through the field quickly as well. There he goes. He's got one more driver behind him. Charlie Humphries, the winner last time out at Shenington. We didn't film there, but he was the final winner. And unfortunately, Humphries has had a nightmare weekend so far, but he's got a chance to fight back here in the final. Ella Stevens and Nathan Tighe have both been very strong all day here at GYG in the earlier heat and pre-final. And as you can see, Ella Stevens wanting to lead by example. She's already got herself well into the lead. Second position, very strong indeed for Tom Harvey, though he won the pre-final. And the only reason Ella Stevens had lost the pre-final, by the way, she was leading going into the last lap. There was a back marker in the way and she just hesitated for a second, and that was all it took to let both Harvey and Ross slide through. But she's not going to do that again if she gets another chance of it. So through the final turn to complete the second lap, Ella Stevens leads the way, Harvey in second, Pilfold third, then it's Lily, Gurney, Ross, and in 7th position that is Nathan Tighe. So Tighe is looking to stretch out the advantage in front of Kylan Ingram in the 7, but Tom Harvey and Ella Stevens are already starting to push away from Milo Pilfold. Here is the battle for 5th position, Gurney, Ross and Tighe, as they all try to keep close tabs on Christian Lilly further up the road. But Jamie Gurney has been having an absolutely sensational weekend by his standards. Normally, he's knocking on the door of the top 10. In qualifying, he was actually close to the front end of the grid. So Jamie Gurney clearly loving the GYG circuit and getting the best opportunity of his 2017 season yet to run from the front. And in 5th position at the moment, trying to defend at this moment in time from Louis Ross. You're not getting through. And Gurney has been as good at the defense as he has been on the offense. So it's great to see him gaining in confidence every time he goes around. So there's your leaders up front, Ella Stevens and Tom Harvey. Now this is basically deja vu of what we saw in the heat and the pre-final earlier on. Ella Stevens leading the way, Tom Harvey breathing down her neck, but on both occasions, Ella Stevens led the majority of the race. And again, look, she just moves to cover. Tom Harvey was threatening to go through on the inside there, but Ella just moves the cart across ever so slightly. She is not letting him get back through. She's one of the most quiet and humble drivers on the grid, but she loves her sport. She loves being in the birelART Series paddock. Tom Harvey giving her so much hard work here, but you can feel the spirit of competition in these guys. And they're a great bunch of boys and girls in the cadets. Ella Stevens herself, by the way, last time out at Shenington, it was briefly after the accident for Billy Munger. She single-handedly raised about 350 quid on her own selling stickers with Billy Whiz inscribed on them to people in the paddock to put on their carts. She absolutely loves her motorsport. And here she wants to get a final victory for the first time this year. She's won in heats, of course, earlier in the year. Tom Harvey all over the back. And this is a first really strong charge for Milo Pilfold this year. Christian Lilly has had a difficult start to the year as well. But these two are finally back where they should be at the front end. They've been struggling in the first 2 weekends, Pilfold and Lilly. Pilfold in particular, but now he's back onto form, into 3rd position. And he's got Christian Lilly swarming all over the back of him at this point. Out through the combination, down towards the bus stop once again. And still Stevens holding on in front of Tom Harvey. Christian Lilly closing up on Milo Pilfold as they come to the final turn once again. Jamie Gurney's actually starting to drop Louis Ross. He wants to go after 3rd position. He's got a chance to as well as they go through that flat out first corner, down the straight and up the hill. Tom Harvey again just trying to second guess Ella Stevens. A quick look over her shoulder. Careful, Ella, you don't want to be thinking about what's behind you too much. You've just got to crack on and push forward. She's so composed around here. She's been doing laps of the circuit even after testing. She was out on her little Segway and on her bicycle all through the weekend. She's been trying to figure out every single inch of this circuit so that she can know exactly what to do. Tom Harvey likewise. These guys really put 10 tenths into making sure they can be the best on the day. Tom Harvey, after a disappointing weekend at Shenington, he'll want to forget that in a hurry. He was only in the midfield with all sorts of mechanical difficulties. Now he's back at the front, as he was at Wilton Mill, and he is desperate to try and get himself on the top step of the podium in another race. Now let's see if he can get this. Now there's Freddie Tomlinson in front of Charlie Humphries. Oakley Keatley in the 74 is down at the back. I'm not sure what's happening to Oakley. He's been much faster than that over the course of the weekend. I wonder if he's got some kind of mechanical difficulties, because that is not the Oakley Keatley we know. He's a lot quicker than that. Down the hill once again. Charlie Humphries trying to make up progress. Freddie Tomlinson definitely doing so. Tomlinson is not really able to show what he can do in this final, because he started in 13th. He's working his way through the field. He's up into, let's do the math, 9th position, Freddie Tomlinson. So he's going through the field quickly, but he could easily be in the top 3 of this race had he not had that off on the final lap when 6 or 7 karts were all battling for P4. And somebody had to get spat out to the scenery, and on that occasion, unfortunately, it was Freddie. But look at him, he's right there in 9th position, behind Nathan Tye and Kylan Ingram, looking for an opportunity. Humphries is 10th, birelARTCadet 11th, in front of Aidan Hassan and the 74 of Oakley Keatley, who in 13th position is still dropping back. That is unlike Oakley. He's been one of the faster rookie drivers all weekend. And again, he's had technical difficulties. Charlie Humphries, he was the winner of the final in Shennington, but he actually spun off in the heat earlier on in the battle for position, ended up in the barriers at the final turn, and has been playing catch-up ever since. But now he looks like he's back on form. He's got time to make up, but we watch this 7th position battle. Nathan Tye, leading rookie in this race. 2nd position in the battle is Kylan Ingram in the 7, and Freddie Tomlinson, young man from Leeds, the number 62, swarming all over the back as they come through the final section of the lap. And it's 2 by 2, hurrah, look at it. We've got Ellis Stevens and Tom Harvey, then Milo Pilfold and Christian Lilly, and then in 5th and 6th we've got Jamie Gurney and Louis Ross as the rest of the field chases back. Where's Oakley Keatley? Oakley Keatley has disappeared. Now I wonder if Oakley Keatley is out of the race. That would be a big disaster if he has, but unfortunately, Oakley Keatley has not had the best of meetings here, and he was almost certainly one of my tips for the victory going into the weekend, but it's all unravelled around him. So it looks as though we've lost Oakley Keatley from the fray. Meanwhile, back to the front, Tom Harvey still waiting for his opportunity on Ellis Stevens. This is what happened last time. He was patient, he was calm and collected. He waited until the last lap when the opportunity arose on Ellis Stevens and then pounced. This is exactly what Tom Harvey's been good at all season long, all last year as well. Whenever an opportunity presented itself, he was very good at poaching a good result out of the bag. Christian Lilly just looking behind to see how far Louis Ross is. Oh, that's Kylan Ingram. And in there with him is Charlie Humphries. So both of them have gone together. That's the 2nd off Charlie Humphries had today. What a disaster. So both Kylan Ingram and Charlie Humphries find themselves off the road. Now that's going to promote Freddie Tomlinson up into 7th position. So again, he works his way through the field. But this is a frustrating day at the office for Charlie Humphries. There is the 76, getting some help from the marshals as, whoops, Kylan Ingram is pushed onto the road, but the marshal loses his footing as he does so. Yellow flags, of course, as Charlie Humphries tries to get himself back on the racetrack. Kylan Ingram moves out of the way. So everybody gets through without any hesitation at all. But look at that, just that little blink, and Ellis Stevens has got 2 kart lengths on Tom Harvey. That's all it takes at this level. So Ellis Stevens is still trying to stretch out an advantage, but immediately Tom Harvey is back on the attack. She's not going to be too bothered about that. There is Dylan Briley and Aidan Hassan. And yep, definitely no sign of Oakley Keatley. I think his race is over. But look, Tom Harvey's already right on the back of Ellis Stevens. There was about 2-3 kart lengths between them, but now Ellis Stevens has completely been caught here by Tom Harvey. Christian Lilly trying to do the same on Milo Pilfold. Now, if he gets an opportunity to be on the podium, you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to get there. He will push on, but Milo Pilfold wants his first top 3 of the season. He is the 3 seed coming into this year. He would be expected to be one of the championship favourites, but he's had a lot of bad luck at Wilton Mill and Shennington the first 2 weekends of the year. Here at GYG, he's back to his best, and Christian Lilly has actually found he's really had to work hard to keep the chasing back behind him. He came into this championship, of course, as the on-paper favourite. He gets alongside Pilfold. Number 2 and number 3 seeds. They were 2nd and 3rd last year in the championship. They would expect to be dominating everything this year, but this is the birelARTCadet UK series. You've got to do the work on the day, and the new challenge has come through and been very strong. Tom Harvey, who was 6th in last year's championship, has emerged as a real title contender this year, as now, of course, has Ellis Stevens in the 87, who has a genuine chance to be champion. If she finishes first here, she will take the lead of the championship, of course. Her consistency has been very strong all through the year. So as far as Tom Harvey, Milo Pilfold and Christian Lilly are concerned, they need to get past her. And they might have a chance, because that is Christian Valverde in front of them, who is not going as fast. Now, the last race in the pre-final, this is where Ellis Stevens lost the race because she ended up getting caught out behind the back marker. Freddie Tomlinson, by the way, has got past Nathan Tye, so that's moved him up a place. But Ellis Stevens needs to time this right. Blue flags. This is where she lost the pre-final. She got held up for a second, and that was enough to let Tom Harvey get through. And we haven't got long to go. This time, Ella needs to be strong. She goes to the tight side. That's going to be enough to get through. Now can Tom Harvey get through? No, he's being held up. It's Callum Lockett in the 92. Apologies. So Callum Lockett just about causing a bit of an issue there for the number 6 Tom Harvey, and Ella Stevens is away. Thank you very much. I'm going to take the victory. And with a minute and a half to go, that's absolute daylight between the two of them. Now you're looking at that thinking that's not that big a gap. Well, actually it is in karting terms. With a minute and 20 seconds to go, Tom Harvey's going to have to work incredibly hard to get that back on Ella Stevens. I think that moment has just given the 87 the race. Meanwhile, Pilfold and Lily have both managed to get past Callum Lockett's kart without too much issue, and Lily is sizing up a move. He looks back. Is anybody going to try and pop it up the inside of me if I go around the outside of Pilfold? And he is going to try and go right around the outside. Almost an impossible move. But he gets right onto the back of Pilfold once again, dives down the inside, thinks better of it. He's got time. He doesn't want to be too trigger happy on the throttle, throwing it up the inside with a couple of laps to go. What if it goes wrong? He'll lose more than third place. So they come up through the combinations once again. Ella Stevens, absolute roller coaster down through the bus stop. And she has a very interesting and unique line to the other drivers there, which seems to work for her. I think she's got very much her own idea how to go through the bus stop. 2 laps to go as we go across the line this time by, because of course in the cadets it is 12 minutes plus a lap for race action. Christian Lilly again sizing up Milo Pilfold, and he's got time. This is the penultimate lap and he's right underneath the gearbox, so he's got an opportunity here. Out to turn 3 once again through the tight right, dropping down the hill. This is where he'll start to think about it. He's not going to make the move yet. He's too far back, but Milo Pilfold is starting to look behind him. Christian Lilly knows he's intimidating him. He's got to pick his moment carefully now. But Christian Lilly is a very tough nut to crack here. So Milo Pilfold is going to have to be very careful about where he defends, how much room he gives, where he starts to block, because if he starts defending too early, then that's just going to give Lilly an opportunity anyway. So they come into the final lap this time by. Last lap for Ella Stevens. Just keep it going, Ella. Just cruise home. Tom Harvey is not close enough to challenge, but Lily definitely is on the back of Milo Pilfold. There's a great opportunity to come through now as they go up the hill. Lily's going left. Pilfold sends him left. They bang wheels. Lily's going to try and come up around the other side of him now. Ella Stevens, meanwhile, out in front as she drops down the hill. This is a gateway to victory. Lily's trying again on Pilfold. Here he comes up the inside. Pilfold squeezing him. Lily's not going to be intimidated up the inside. Thank you very much indeed. He gets the move, and that's the podium. And surely now Lily is going to be able to hold that till the flag, unless Pilfold makes a kamikaze dive up the inside through the bus stop. Stranger things have happened at GYG, but Ella Stevens has almost made it the clean sweep. She won the heat. She was third in the pre-final. She wins the final at GYG. Ella Stevens takes the victory. Tom Harvey second. Christian Lilly is third, and he's happy with that. Pilfold from Louis Ross, Jamie Gurney, Freddie Tomlinson and Nathan Tye. Kylan Ingram did go through, but he was lapped, of course. Dylan Briley doing a Colin McRae round the final turn, just for good measure. Why not? Callum Lockett and Aidan Hassan come through. And so too will Charlie Humphreys, having recovered his way through. But it's Ella Stevens who takes the victory from Tom Harvey and Christian Lilly. And with that victory, Ella Stevens goes to the top of the championship standings. Great work. Absolutely amazing race today. Really good, strong performance. How do you feel after it?
I'm very happy for it. It was very tough today.
So when did you really think you could get the move on Tom? Was it through the traffic? Were you able to make the break there?
It was probably when I was coming down the hill when he had like a loud noise going up in the corner. He just like squeaked.
It's a fantastic result today. We look to see you again at fullback, and hopefully you can do it again.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, only 40 seconds away from a clean sweep in the pre-final. Ella Stevens takes the lead of the championship. Christian Lilly second from Tom Harvey. Louis Ross, Charlie Humphreys and Nathan Tye, the rookie, are still giving chase. It's going to be a great season in 2017 in the cadets. Meanwhile, in the juniors, Tyrone Stansfield is hoping to make it 3 from 3.